Welcome back to At Home with Roby. I'm Patrick McIsaac from Roby Electric, along with Trent Hastings from the Roby family of companies. We are your hosts. Trent, can you whistle like that intro song?
I've never been able to whistle. I consider that a foreign language.
I can do it a little bit, but not like that.
I speak river.
You speak
and man, I'm tired. Kenny Smith is a handful.
Oh, come on now.
Man, I'm telling you. I mean, he sounds so sweet and innocent, and then he starts talking.
I'll tell you, man,
he's gone, right? She gone.
Well, yeah, we hope so. He might be coming
back. So we
back
got
in
him
here.
out of here, so now we can talk about him. No, it was wonderful. I think it's special that we got Kenny on our show. You know, we say we want people to learn a little, laugh a little. I think, man, you couldn't ask for a better compliment to our show. And what's going on in current events in Charlotte. You know, he's in the commercial real estate world, so it ties in with our business very well. So glad he could be here.
He's got an interesting. You know, Charlotte deserves better. Is his staple. That's what he's running on, which is good. You can one thing we've talked about before is you can just really tell he loves this place. There's no question about it.
And I do too. So I might go political on somebody.
Oh man.
So there is a book that we share books, and I'm proud to say I started this with my family business forum. Have fellas all over the United States. I talk about it a fair amount, and every time we get together, it's somebody's responsibility to share a book, and then we read it and talk about it. And one of the books, the best book we've ever had shared because it takes 30 minutes to read, is a book called Rock and Sand by Michael Sink. We did not talk about this on our book show that we did a couple weeks ago because it's a little more straight business oriented, but it tells us about moving. Sand is running your everyday business, and rocks are goals, big picture goals that you try to take care of that fill a big space so that the sand can pack around it is kind of the theory of the book. And at the same time as I do my little book sharing with my forum guys, I like the book so much. We do about every month at the Roby family of companies. Right. We do a little lunch and learn. We get all our folks from the office together, and we talk about what's going on and try to have a good time with the people and open dialogue, and we have a basis for it. So we use Rock and Sand because it's such an easy book. So you put on your 40 under 40,
right?
That it was the last book you read because that was a question.
Correct. It was sort of like right after we had that study. You know, I filled out the little questionnaire that they submitted, and it was published. I believe it was maybe last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, and we put his book.
You said Rock and Sand, Michael Sink.
Was the last book I read.
Well, that's all you said.
That's all I said.
And you get a LinkedIn hit up from Michael Sink. He says he's flattered that you put his book out there, that you read his book, wanted to know more about how you found out about his book. Very personable, straight from him.
Right.
You forwarded it to me. You asked me how I really found out about it. I gave you a little background. And in the last 5 or 6 days since this has happened, we're going to have him on the show at some point. In the near future.
I think it's the second Sunday in April.
You already know.
Yeah. I think
Once
second
again,
or third.
I'm out of the loop.
Well, that's okay. But, no, he I thought that was so cool. I mean, the guy, at first I started wondering, was this guy local? Maybe he lives in North Carolina. We just don't know. And he got the Business Journal, but he actually lives in Memphis. And he's got his own business. He's a business coach consultant. It's called InSync.
I told you he'd be hitting you up.
Yeah, well, no, he didn't hit me up really at all. But I think he thought it was really cool that we mentioned the book on the 40 Under 40 article, and I thought I was blown away. Here it is, this nationally recognized author just sending a LinkedIn note.
Business lesson of the day. Business success is grassroots and personable.
Agreed.
Okay? You got to get out and do the dirty work. You're not too fancy. You're never going to be successful if you're too fancy to get down and get in the weeds. Now, as you grow your business, you got to get out of the weeds and let people become presidents and replace you, and you become nothing, like Patrick has usurped myself.
TJ, he's not getting over this, is he?
But the funny thing is, I don't even think I've told you all this. I sent the forward you sent me to my family business forum group. I am hosting our next meeting, which is in Denver, late August. I'm the guy that's putting the meeting together. And my contractor buddy in my group out of Nebraska said that he's having Michael already come to do some stuff with his company that they've been talking regularly, separately from you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get on a conference call with Michael and my buddy Joe Beckenhauer out of Nebraska this week, and Michael's going to come do a day with my forum group in Denver in late August.
That's cool.
What do you think about them apples?
After you have them on the show, you'll obviously know each other. You'll have a little bit of leg up on the family business guys.
We at the Roby family of companies better learn how to move some rocks.
I will, and that's a
futile effort.
That is true. He's probably going to hold us accountable once he comes on the show, which is good. That's what we want. But no, you're exactly right. I mean, the grassroots, this guy didn't have to do that. I mean, so folks, if you're listening, you've got until I think it's the second or third week of April to read this book. Go out and buy it. You can get it on Amazon. It's Rock and Sand. There's also a video that's an hour and 30 minutes that you can watch while you're working out or whatever.
Longer than the book to read.
Yeah. So I think he goes through some case studies, but it's a really neat book. And then when you listen to the show, you'll obviously have the background of the book, and you'll be able to get an idea of exactly who the author is.
So when you Google Rock and Sand, a lot of other books come up, but it's Michael Sink. I think it's SYNK.
That's right.
So check it out, and you got a couple weeks to read it. It'll take you 30 minutes to do 5 minutes at a time, kind of like crunches. Basic exercises here of the mind.
It took us 30 minutes to read it, so that means probably normal people can probably do it in 20 to 25. Wouldn't you say?
I'm a very slow reader.
Me too.
I'm slow at a lot of things. So I am so glad we got out of last week on the weather front. I'm glad it's warming up a little bit, and the 10-day forecast looks a lot brighter. But, I'm not ashamed that winter didn't come that hard this year. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
No, need a little snow. Well, Trent, we're coming up to the end of the show. If you want to check out more on Kenny Smith, electkennysmith.com. He's got a cool video that kind of tells you what he's all about. It's good having him on the show. You want to send us off, Trent?
Great show, Patrick. Thank you for being here with me. I am the president of the Roby family of companies. Hi, just kidding. We'll talk to you next week, folks. Have a wonderful Sunday.